Na, üdvözletem mindenkinek. Kezdünk. Csak színt váltok. Csak meg lett. Csak most már ott tartok, hogy annyi szín van bent OBS-ben, hogy néha nem tudom követni. Már is indítom a játékot, és akkor onnan fogjuk folytatni, ahol abba hagytuk. Don't load. Nem tetszik, hogy elhallgatott. Na. Hopp, 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 hopp. Love. Na, akkor emlékeim szerint nem ezt akartam, volt még sidequestünk a területen, így van. Loot. Kodein. Minden mennyiségben. Valamit hadd nézek meg gyorsan. Na. Azzal a main quest menne tovább, ha oda mennénk beszélgetni.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war, and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
Aha, szóval ő is egy trader lesz.
How is the situation around here?
You want to hear the situation is all right? It's fucking awful. We lack everything, and it's getting worse every day.
So what do you do exactly in this hospital? Apart from smuggling guns, I mean.
I've been an ambulance driver since... too long, I guess. I bring sick people here night and day. It's a dirty job, but I get it done. Most of the time.
Since you're on the front line, How is the sanitary situation in this vicinity?
It's a complete disaster. It's even getting dangerous to enter some streets or buildings. Even the locals attack you.
Remek.
It sounds like things have been a bit rough recently. What's happened?
Yesterday I got attacked by the patient I was bringing here. I escaped through the hospital's garden, but I lost my wallet when I was running.
You left an infected patient outside the hospital. That's incredibly dangerous.
Go there yourself if you want, but be careful, Doctor. I'd rather not bring your dead body back.
Are you really smuggling weapons through the hospital?
And why not? I've already been attacked by patients, you know. And by gang members willing to steal my money.
But you're not defending yourself. You're selling guns to civilians.
You keep people alive your own way, Doctor. I offer them another way to protect their health.
Végül is? Ja, ezen mentem keresztül.
Tell me why you're extorting money from some of the patients here.
If a patient wants a bed, he'll have to pay me a little fee. That's all.
Where did you get the idea for such an immoral scam?
Funny you should ask. The first time it was from a patient who bribed me to get a bed. It's only then I realized I could make a fortune.
I have some good news, Milton.
What? The epidemic's over?
I retrieved your wallet with all the money and a certain picture.
Well, yeah, Pippa Hawkins is my girl. So what? Is it the difference of skin color that bothers you?
Not at all, Milton.
Good. Please, take this money anyway. To remind you to keep your mouth shut. Not everybody is as broad-minded as you, Dr. Reed.
What's going on between you and Nurse Hawkins?
Pippa's tired. Tired of all this shit. Tired of all those corpses piling up. She's as depressed as I am.
During the war, I witnessed a few couples just like you come together in difficult circumstances. It can be very damaging.
Maybe you're right. But we support each other. And that's all that matters.
Végül is?
You do realize you could both get fired. Hospital staff are not meant to have intimate relationships with one another.
Come on, Dr. Reed. Do you know how many rules are broken in this hospital every day just to keep it running? There's nothing wrong with what we're doing.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
Ez shotgun. $315 shilling, nincs rá pénzünk. Viszont mintha a másik sidequestet befejeztük volna. Aha, igen. Hogy is léptem be itt már? Nem? Aha,
Another night.
így. Or tippets.
Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
An invisible enemy? Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
Do you think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here,
És egyben
and
egy
we're
újra
trying to
dobjuk.
hold fast, but
Jaj.
how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them. Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett's. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Aha.
I'm not familiar with all the staff
Oh,
yet.
Nem lehet
Perhaps you
eltekerni.
could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them. Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No, I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
Aha, ennyi. Ez lenne a másik sidequestünk.
Tell me what Dr. Tippett did. I know his mistake caused a patient's death.
If I had not covered up his error, Dr. Tippett would have been fired from this hospital.
Igen.
I could not let that happen.
You can't allow your emotions to dictate your conduct concerning patients, Nurse Brannigan.
Look around you, Dr. Reed. Do you really think we can afford to lose a brilliant practitioner like Dr. Tippett's in our situation?
Perhaps you did it with the best intentions, Nurse Brannigan, but you took a great risk. Must I remind you that a man died?
You mean you've never made a mistake? Never covered your tracks? Come on, Doctor. I wasn't born yesterday.
Beszólt?
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Úgy érzem, megvan a következő, akiben a Vampyr kaja lesz.
Good evening, sir.
So it is true. The famous Dr. Reed has joined us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before, at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippett, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please, speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
It's more than enough. In any case, the personnel of a hospital are much more important to me than the building.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
Tell me more about cherished people, then.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated nurse I've ever worked with. A clever and cheerful woman.
You really seem to admire her skills.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
Any opinion about the management?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve, but I must admit he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah, yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office now and again.
Hát jó.
You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
No, we must keep on healing all those poor souls. We are the last rampart before chaos. Once more unto the breach.
You've nothing to prove, Dr. Tippett, to anybody, and we all praise your experience. Please, have some rest.
I am perfectly fine, and I am not too old for this job.
Ki a tökön beszélt arról?
Corcoran, I want you to tell me about Mr. Connor. How did he die? What happened?
He was my patient. He died because of my mistake. That's the blunt truth.
What was the nature of the mistake?
It was a twofold error. My diagnosis was wrong, and the administered dosage was too strong.
Who was this patient?
I don't know. Some sick man from the docks, maybe a fisherman. I had no time to talk with him. No one claimed a body.
Why not stop practicing?
Are you mad? I killed that man, I admit it, and it won't happen again. I have saved so many lives since then.
Muszáj ezt válaszolni.
I will cover for you, Dr. Tibbets, by keeping what happened to Mr. Connor to myself.
I don't know what to say, actually. I can't exactly force you to become my accomplice.
You didn't force me. This is my decision to make. I believe you're still of use to the hospital, considering the situation.
Then I can make you this promise.
Attól még megölte
As
azt az
soon as
embert.
the epidemic is eradicated, I will resign.
Végül is.
What will you do after your resignation? Do you have a plan?
I always fancied visiting Cyprus. Such a beautiful island. I could buy a house there by the sea, read poetry, and wait for death.
Akkor azt hiszem mindent végigjártunk.
Goodbye, Dr. Tibbets.
És azt hiszem kész van a másik sidequestünk is. Viszont a csajhoz volt még tippünk. Hintünk pontosabban az eredeti nevén. Dorothy Crane az most nem érdekel. Unknown. Hát... Van benne valami. Azt hiszem ő volt az.
Good evening, Nurse
Igen, ő.
Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Why does Dr. Tippets claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippets does not think of you as just a nurse anymore, does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Hát ebből nem tudtunk még semmit. És azt hiszem, hogy na, rossz gomb, sorry. Aha, kész van. Amit megtaláltunk, az kész van. Akkor gyerünk main missionezni. Hopp. Ja. Azt hittem, hogy valami értelmes lesz rajta. Edgar Swansea. Na, az ő irodája. Ha, meg is vagy.
Please, Jonathan, come in. Fascinating, is it not? In the last decade, so many mysteries have been brought to light with our microscopes. The human body, biology's penultimate frontier. The more we explore its boundaries, the less we're able to trace a clear line between life and death. You, my friend, have a foot in both countries. The view must be vertiginous.
It's at least as vertiginous as chatting about vampires with you, I would say.
This must be all so new to you. This area of town, the hospital, a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm, Dr. Swansea, but my condition defies scientific categorization. Undead? Unalive? Immortality defies logic.
I cannot express my thrill at this serendipitous turn of events. The world's most eminent specialist in blood transfusions, a vampire. One might say a gift from heaven.
It may seem strange, but your words have brought me some comfort here.
Forgive me. I've been an admirer of your work for a long time, and now you are so much more than a brilliant physician. And please, call me Edgar.
There is no need to apologize, Edgar. You offered me sanctuary when I had none.
Very well. I have a task for you, Jonathan. Something that will require all your newfound skills.
Please, go on.
The Pembroke only survives through the generosity of our benefactors. Unfortunately, our main donor has found herself in a bit of a bind. Now, if you could help her out...
A spokesman or politician is what you need. That's not my calling. And until I come to understand what has happened to me, I require discretion.
Discretion is in order, Jonathan. Lady Ashbury has recently received rather indelicate correspondence that, if revealed, would jeopardize her position.
And you would like me to eradicate this threat?
By the stole, of course not. I would just like you to pay her a visit. Her ladyship is certainly near the tents outside, tending the sick. You can't miss her. Look for someone impossibly delicate.
Accepted. I'll see what kind of trouble Lady Ashbury is in.
Azt hiszem, belép a képbe a csaj, akivel a tutorial alatt találkoztunk. Hopp. Hopp. Közben kipakoljuk, amit találunk, ez nem nyitható. Ja, hogy automatikusan
Flew
elindul.
took my dear wife, Emily. I take comfort knowing we'll soon be together again.
Mr. Rainfield, that's no way to talk. You're in good hands here, and we'll be up again soon enough. Now do me a kindness and get some sleep. I'll be back round later.
Your words are kind, the blessings of an angel. You're the sweet, sweet Lady of Mercy.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. It's a pleasure to see you again. You seem surprised. Dr. Swansea has brought me up to speed concerning your recent appointment to Pembroke Hospital.
You're a the lady who saved me that night, before vanishing into thin air. I remember you from the pub with Dr. Swansea.
Indeed. Allow me to introduce myself formally this time. My name is Lady Ashbury. I remember you well, in spite of the brevity of our encounter.
Apologies. You've taken me by surprise. I'm very happy to see you.
Az szokott lenni egyébként az ilyen
pleasure is mine,
típusú játékokkal a baj,
I
hogy
hope you're
annyira
more
megszokom, hogy végig kell
disposed to answer
kattintani
my
mindent,
questions now.
hogy nem nézem meg, hogy mire
You must have
kattintok, hanem
countless
automatikusan
questions.
elkezdek sorba
But a
menni
rather
rajta.
urgent matter first. Swansea has explained. My cover, if you prefer, has been compromised.
Have any of the patients given you trouble?
These poor souls have so little left to live for. I do my best to ease their pain.
The world would be a better place if it were cared for by women like you.
You make me blush. I am simply a necessary evil.
Pardon my boldness, Your Ladyship, but I have questions concerning this condition we share.
As a newborn, your hunger for answers is rivaled only by your thirst for blood. But the questions need wait.
I'm a scientist. My trade is in the deciphering of mysteries, and I need information to feed my mind.
I will gladly answer every question you have, but first, prove yourself capable of resolving my predicament without eating the culprit.
Hát jó.
Dr. Swansea has commissioned me
Come on,
to be
Nicola.
your agent in this matter. You could start by explaining what's amiss.
These past insufferable weeks, I've been the victim of extortion. I've made a first payment, but the blackmailer grows greedy. I must refuse his most recent demands.
What are your expectations? Please be precise.
As the newly appointed surgeon of this hospital, you are in an excellent position to ask innocent questions and deftly learn the identity of my blackmailer.
Who would be so foolish as to threaten you? A kindred spirit.
Even if it were the case, and I highly doubt it, a vampire would have asked for something more valuable than money. My suspicions lean toward a patient or their family.
If we're dealing with an ordinary criminal, surely you've the means to deal with it yourself, if I may.
As immortal tradition doth dictate, all fangs and hypnotic eyes ablaze, the blood would run like a river. That's what I hope to avoid. Violence has a tendency to spiral out of control.
Aha, tehát inkább indítsuk el mi.
Every detail is essential. I'm your man.
My embarrassment in this matter is eclipsed only by my shame at having put the hospital at risk. The threat from our anonymous scoundrel is clear. A list of dates. My visits coinciding with the dates of suspicious patient deaths due to massive blood loss.
Is it true?
Now aren't you the blunt one?
Excuse my impertinence, Your Ladyship. This is not an interrogation. I assure you that this line of questioning is in your best interest.
In all honesty, I'm not simply a patron to the hospital. My visits serve a dual purpose. Dr. Swansea has been treating my condition with a revolutionary technique of blood transfusion. It seems you are a specialist in the domain.
I'll take care of it. Do you know where I should start?
If that was the case, I'd settle the matter myself. You could talk to our local gossip, Harriet Jones. Not a pin drops here without her hearing about it.
I'll meet that woman now.
My life.
Mondjuk a face animation-ekkel kezdhettek volna valamit, mert azok nem a legjobbak. De mondjuk ez legyen a legnagyobb baja egy játéknak.
But I do fear your powers of persuasion will be put to the test. When this is resolved, I'll be your obligé. I'll answer all questions in regards of your condition.
Hoppá. Ja, bent jó.
Fear and disgust on every street corner.
Simpletons, these nurses. Bred with no respect. What? What? What is this? Who are you? Get out of my room.
Így
There's no
van.
need for
A
alarm,
voice acting
madam.
az
I'm
teljesen
Dr.
rendben
Reed,
van.
the new surgeon.
Preposterous.
Az Andromédát
Dr.
meg
Reed,
nehéz
you
lenne
say?
überelni.
I don't want
Ebből a
some fumbling
szempontból.
intern. Where's Dr. Swansea?
Please, calm down, madam. I assure you that I am highly qualified. I'm just back from war duty.
How brave. Threatening an old defenseless woman. You know how long I've been a patient here? You've picked the wrong fight. I'm Harriet Jones.
Harriet Jones? Indeed. I've been meaning to have a chat with you. You know what goes on here better than any other patient, I gather.
Oh, better than any patient, nurse, or doctor. I've seen so many vile undertakings.
I heard there have been some despicable goings-on. Was there a case of blackmail?
Blackmail? Wait. You're investigating something. This isn't a social call. One of those incompetent cunts slit a poor sod's vein.
If I didn't know better, Miss Jones, I'd be inclined to say you enjoy this type of idle gossip.
Igen.
God's honest truth, Doctor. It's just the way it is here. Most of these bitches would let you freeze to death before getting you a blanket.
Eh?
You seem to know more about the goings-on here than anyone else. Beware, Miss Jones, in case suspicion should fall on you.
That's it. Blame the old and infirm. I see those little bitches' greedy little eyes. Just waiting for me to pop off they are.
I assure you, madam, this is not an investigation into a possible medical error.
Debauchery, then? Nurses Crane, Hawkins, Brannigans, whores, all of them. They can't keep their legs shut. I've seen them scratching slutty sores.
Really? Well, if you have irrefutable proof, I'll not have the staff behaving in such a manner here.
This is your business, Doctor, not mine. But I swear one of the nurses is cavorting with some man on hospital hours.
Thank you for your time, Miss Jones. You've given me something to go on. See you on the next round.
Aha. Ne? De jó
The
lesz.
patients and staff might know something. I'll start my investigation with them.
Pippa Hawkins, itt is van rögtön.
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke
Hát, ha
Hospital?
találunk
It's
még
serious.
sidequestet.
The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
You must get a hold of yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
How long
Yeah.
have you been a nurse?
Well, long enough to see that the epidemic is winning.
Nem
And
adom
no
fel.
matter how qualified
Akkor is
you are,
találok még
don't
sidequestet.
tell me you'll change that.
You'd be surprised what dedication can achieve, Nurse Hawkins. In medicine, sometimes we're just a test result away from a miracle.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Aha.
Why does Milton dislike
Lesz egy újabb
doctors?
hintünk.
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned. Milton is not the chatty type.
Ja igen, ez az, ahol van a tippünk. Itt mindenhez hív kell, remek.
Pepper, I know you're very close to Milton Hooks.
Yes. Milton Hooks is my man. If you want to report me for that, just feel free, Doctor.
I
Hát
have
igen.
no intention
Not
of
so fun
reporting
fact, a
you,
spanyol
Nurse
NATO
Hawkins.
50 millió
But
ember
are you
halálát
aware
okozta az
of
első
the risks?
VH után.
The rules say I won't be allowed to work as a nurse anymore. But here at the Pembroke, we break rules all the time.
Is he worth the risk?
Hey, I'm no perfect woman, and Milton is not the finest bloke, but we do our best to get by. That's all any of us can hope for nowadays.
Mert nem annyit töltünk, mint a pestis. Hát. De azt azért tegyük hozzá, hogy a pestis idei jóval kevesebben éltek, tehát arányaiban a pestis jóval halálosabb volt.
Let me guess. You spoke with that old shrew, Harriet Jones. Do not pay attention to her, Doctor. She's full of fanciful tales.
No matter how you feel about her, Miss Jones deserves our help.
Who says I don't care for her? Hate is what keeps that old crone alive.
She could have been telling the truth about the mysterious man.
That old witch will end up in hell soon enough. Who cares if the nurse finds some happiness where she can?
What can you tell me about the strange man visiting one of the nurses during her shift?
Let me guess. You spoke with that old shrew, Harriet Jones. Do not pay attention to her, Doctor. She's full of fanciful tales.
What can you tell me about the strange man visiting one of the nurses during her shift?
Let me guess. You spoke with that old shrew, Harriet Jones. Do not pay attention to her, Doctor. She's full of fanciful...
El lehet tekerni, mert ezt jó tudni. Itt ugye hint kellett mindenhez.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Ehhez volt egy tippünk, azért jövök most ide.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
Hát nem itt.
Why do you have such a mediocre reputation among your colleagues, Milton?
Fuck them. Nobody knows the horrors I've seen
Azt
since
hiszem talán
working here.
ezért.
This city was sick long before the epidemic, Dr. Reed.
I know it's a difficult task, but correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not the job you are paid to do?
I've seen babies left to die while their brothers were properly fed. Underage girls and boys sold to all manner of perverts.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, exactly. We lack words. So excuse me if I don't look on the bright side of life.
True.
Have you heard of any underhand dealings going on in this hospital?
There are a lot of secrets round here. I'm not surprised someone tried to make money from them.
What kind of secrets?
I'm not in the gossip business, Dr. Reed. If you want to know more, you better talk to Harriet Jones. She's the oldest patient here.
Goodbye, Milton.
Szerintem erre mindig nincs a shotgunjára elég pénzünk, úgyhogy... Hopp, az ott egy nővér. Gwyneth Brannigan, ő kell. Csak előtte kirámoljuk mellőle a szekrényt, mit szóltak.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Jó, jó.
Do you know if any of the hospital staff have criminal backgrounds?
The people who work here all come from very different backgrounds, Doctor. Just like the patients.
Do you know if any of the hospital staff have...
The people who...
Aha, ezzel tudok tekerni. Jó, most már tényleg véglegesen megvan. Az kell, az megvolt.
Have you seen a strange man visiting any of the nurses here?
I've never heard of such a thing, Doctor.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Akkor már csak Dorothy Crane hiányzik. Corcoran Tippett, Pippa Hawkins, Chadana, Unknown. 68 méter? Nem is a kórházban van, bazog.
What of my own life?
Hát ezt a csúkságot úgy se látogatja szerintem senki. Mármint kötve hiszem, hogy nagyon bemászkálna hozzá bárki. Mobster.
You're sure you don't come back with me?
Nah, I have to see someone at the hospital.
Be careful. You look so bad they may keep you as a patient.
Fuck 'em. I don't like hospitals or doctors.
Well then, when you go back to Whitechapel, you may find this useful.
What is it?
A pass for a free medical exam by the best nurse available. Just read it.
I don't read well, but thank you, I guess.
Süt belőle az intelligencia. Ó, van egy részegesünk. Ó, nem, ez Skull. Egy enemink van, nem egy rész. Ja. Sok volt a Dark Souls. Ezzel akartam támadni, és az X-el kell. Na nézzük ezt a missiont. Jó, akkor erre tudunk menni, ezt jó tudni, de előtte szétnézünk. Erre visz a main quest. Akkor viszont itt nézzünk szét először. Hogy ugyanoda visz, fogadjunk. Ó. Köszönöm a hoztat, kecske.
This man has been savagely attacked and dragged to the floor.
Aha, tehát a the door has been unlocked. Jó, hát ez bőrzsöntés volt. Visszajönni kinyitni az ajtót, mert akkor ez szerintem nyitva is marad. Van valami láda. Ezek jól jönnek, mert ugye ezek kellenek a fegyverek képességeinek a kinyitásához. Remek, Skull. De itt is. Ja, hogy ez már 8-as szintű. Hát kicsit megkésett a dodge, de... Ja, hogy ez 6-os. Ja, hogy de viszont melee rezisztens cserébe. Jó van, már hallom, hogy nem tudsz lélegezni. Nézzük már meg azt a fegyvert. Aha, kétkezes. Azért damage ennyit, mert kétkezes. Mondjuk érdekes, hogy a jumpot így oldották meg. A pénz az nagyon kéne most nekünk, azt nagyon gyűjtjük, mert az a shotgun az nagyon jól jönne. Amúgy. Ó. De völj meg szépen. Kaptam. Azt hiszem ideje némi healnek. Aha, az gyönyörűen letrekkelt, igen. De most hol volt az a szerencsétlen? Áj!
Are you injured, sir?
Help me get out of here. I need to get out.
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd be glad to help you, but you must calm down first. Please, take a deep breath and tell me your name.
Okay. Okay, I'm Oswald Thatcher. Please, I need to get out.
All right, Mr. Thatcher.
Thatcher!
You're safe now. Do you think you can reach the street by yourself?
Yes, I do.
Good. Now leave this place and enjoy the cool night air. It's quite invigorating. I'm sure you'll feel better if you do.
Citizen rescued. Te! Na azért. Ó, itt hagytuk. Meg itt is. Körbenéztem egy... Hát nem néztem körbe rendesen, ez látszik. Nem akartam kimenni, innen vissza fog spónolni minden. Tudja, hogy minden vissza fog éledni. Persze a rút az nem. Nem is lehetett másfelé menni, nem hát. Ups, ezt nem akartam elnyomni. Jó. New collectible. Na most már fullon vagyunk. Ezzel is. Eddig egyszer nem kaptunk készszérumot. Mert érzem úgy, hogy boss fight lesz mindjárt. Most vágott hozzám 2 szérumot. Aha. De jó, hogy amúgy kidodgeolt. Ja, hogy nincs ami nem. Tudja, hogy boss fight lesz. Nem véletlenül adott 2 egész healt. Még nem véletlenül voltak itt a patkónyok sem, hogy újra töltsem a vért. Ráadásul infinite patkány, tehát hogy...
What sort of creature is this?
Ja, hogy ezzel az a buzi híreli magát. Alig üt nagyot amúgy a csávó. A melee rezisztens rohadt anyádat azt. Resisted! Kimozdul belőle, de jó fej. Harapjuk meg még egyszer a rohadékot. Ki fogunk fogyni másképp a vérből. Még egyszer le fogom tudni szánolni, de jó.
Here's what's left of him. Not a lot to check, but I should anyway. Some voucher for a free checkup in Whitechapel. What is Nurse Crane up to?
Ez maradt a csávóból. valami loot a boss fightnál. Gyorsan híveljük magunkat. Nem, az nem a csávó, aki bejött. Az a csávó, aki bejött, az ott van, ez, amit a lábam előtt van. Most éppen taposok. Ups. Ez maradt a csávóból. Igen. Azaz. Csak ugye mivel az összes képességet abból aktiválom, így szeretem, hogyha tele van. Jaj, mert ugye a hírem is attól függ, meg a damage-em is. Főleg az ilyen melee resistance köcsögök ellen. Hello. Akkor nézzük a másik irányba. Igen, a vér a mana, így van. De hol fogok én tudni itt átmenni? Ott azon a hídon akkor? Itt már voltunk. Ezelőtt szeretnék fejlődni. Mielőtt ebbe a körzetből visszajövünk. Na. A következő szintje 50 damage-et ad rá. Level 10 kell hozzá. Adjunk még a házra. Aha, ehhez már level 10 kell. Mondjuk ez sem árt, hogyha... Így van. Fog a faszom lépcsőzni, ha tudok teleportálni. Nagyon jó, hogy megbetegszik az összes. Az igen! Remek. Nézzük, van elég cuccunk ahhoz, hogy fejlesszünk a fegyverem. Van. Damage death 10% vagy stamina consumption. Kérem a damage-et. Ehhez mi fog kelleni? A mesmerize level az kell ahhoz, hogy hipnotizálni tudjunk egy áldozatot, és úgy tudjuk kiszívni a vérüket. Tehát csak olyat tudsz megölni, akinél a mesmerize leveled magasabb. Bontsuk bele most már ezeket is. Tehát ugye megvan, hogy kinek a hipnotizálása az, mert ugye először ahhoz, hogy meg tudd őket ölni, el kell csalnod egy csendes helyre. Hát ezekkel meg kell küzdenünk. Vagy nem? Ha, nem. De ezekkel már igen. Ó, nem volt kijelölve. Na jó van. That's gonna hurt szerintem is. Na jó van már. Persze a játék Dark Souls módjára, amikor már nincs szükséged valamilyen alapanyagra, akkor szarja magából.
Safer places to be than here. Don't come no closer. It's one of them.
Picit, mint a könnyebb lett volna, könnyebb lenne harcolni velük. Au. Egy 3 szintlépés után.
We have to stop it.
Egy, 2, 3. Ez meg nem nyílik. De nekem tökéletesen megfelel az is, ha erre megyek.
It's locked.
Hát ez meg egy shortcut lesz akkor, gondolom én. Ja, nem is arra kell mennem, úgyhogy akkor mindegy is.
Whitechapel. This neighborhood is linked somehow to the kind Lady Ashbury's blackmail. First, let's find this Petrescu fellow.
Stop it!
I won't end up another drunk arsehole in the streets. Not me.
Are you all right?
The bastard hit the wall next to me. I don't even know if he meant to miss.
If you've been hurt, I can help you. I'm a doctor.
Name's Albert. Remember it. Now bugger off.
What happened? Did you really steal that man's medication?
Hey, I didn't do anything. It ain't me.
All right. Perhaps the poor drunk just confused you with someone else.
Sod off, mister. You ain't got no clue what's going on here. Bastard was a soldier in the war, so now he's got the right to shoot me.
It's true. I'm not familiar with this part of town. Perhaps you could help me.
I said sod off. Go find yourself another guide.
Ebből is vámpírkaja lesz, úgy érzem.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? If you know anything about her, I'd appreciate it.
Never heard of her. She's pretty, I'll keep an eye out.
I found the recruiter you were expecting. He's dead, but he carried a note. The Wet Boot Boys have accepted your application.
I knew it! I told you I was tough enough. I'll be free soon.
This note was found on a dead man, Albert. If that doesn't change your mind, then you must be ready to face the risks.
You're all fancy words, none of which concern me. Go worry about someone else. I'm fine and I have a future here.
Jó, közben akaratlanul megcsináltunk egy sidequestet.
Goodbye, young man.
The Wet Boots will be proud of me.
What? Shooting a boy in the middle of the street. Not the best thing to do, wouldn't you say?
What? You saw what happened? Who are you?
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd like to ask you a few questions, if you promise me to set your gun aside.
No. Look, I'm not a violent man. I'm Benjamin Palmer, doctor. And no one can help me. Not even you.
A gun, alcohol, and a bad temper make a terrible cocktail, sir. Goodbye for now.
Nem akartam megnyomni.
Good evening, Benjamin.
I'm afraid...
What can you tell me about this place?
Nothing to say, really. This is where I used to live, and this is where I live now.
You don't have anywhere to go? No family that would welcome you?
Not since the death of my wife, Albert's mother. She was sick, you see. Long before the flu and all this shit.
You mean you used to have a better life?
Yeah, I had a wife, a home, and a job. I even used to have a name. Now I'm just Ben. Ben the Tramp.
Perhaps you could focus for a moment and tell me your troubles.
I'm sick, broke, and my son just stole my pills. Everything's coming up roses.
Whatever the boy did, I'm sure he didn't deserve a public execution.
I swear I didn't want to hit him. It's just that I'm sick in the head, you see, and the boy just frayed me last nerve.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Have you heard anything?
It's funny, I've been searching for her too. I need some pills. But the woman is a phantom, if you ask me.
Really? And why is that?
Word is she ain't real. She's a cover for some doctor who runs an illegal dispensary for migrants.
What is it, Benjamin? It was the war, wasn't it? Your nerves are shot, aren't they? I need some answers, Private. From one soldier to another.
The doctors called me a liar. A coward. Put me in a straitjacket, locked me up. Finally, they sent me back to the front lines with a handful of tablets.
What about those we left behind, face down in the mud? You want to change places with them? You cannot waste your chance at life this way.
It's not that simple. I wouldn't have expected you to understand. I don't even know why I spoke to you in the first place.
Jaj, valószínűleg rossz válasz lehetőséget választottunk.
A gun, alcohol, and a Good evening, miss.
Good evening, sir. Are you interested in a miraculous cure for this unknown and deadly epidemic?
Actually, I am.
Then you have come to the right place. The famous Swanborough cordial is all you need to help keep you in perfect health.
Oh, really? Why didn't I hear about it during my studies? I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Ah, my brother has spoken of your research, sir. I'm Loretta Swanborough, and it's always a pleasure to meet a fellow healer.
Jó, ez nem jött össze.
Tell me, who intrigues you most in Whitechapel?
The region itself is something to see, but I would say Camellia the mute florist who gives away her flowers.
What do you think of the locals?
Most of them are afraid or desperate. They all come to me eventually for my remedy.
Hát erre igazából nem nagyon tudok mit mondani, mert ez nagyjából egy talking simulator jelenleg.
Is there anyone I
Gondolom ez jobb lesz,
Cadigan Bates,
hogyha...
without a doubt. The bloody bastard remorselessly exploits poor migrants as soon as they get here.
Ja, igen. Itt is kész.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy
Crane még ennél hátra.
I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like to talk about competition.
Competition, you say?
Never met her, but it seems she provides some sort of medical care to the poor. The whole thing has to be some sort of scam, if you ask me.
I'd like to see what kind of medicine you're selling.
Minden esetre 300 valamennyi volt a soti, úgyhogy szerintem lassan. Ez megint ugyanaz, aki előbb kukázott?
Good evening, Benjamin.
Aha.
Can I help you?
I'm afraid not.
A gun?
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now, goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to.
Bronchitisze van. Hint locked. Na nézzük. Na, megvan a nővér. Mini meglepetés.
A strange man was at the door with the pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be from Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nithercott?
Yeah.
No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
Na szóval, elvileg meg tudom ölni, Dobby. Igen.
It's locked all right. I must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius. Nearby the church they just mentioned.
Tehát elvileg a Pillart is meg tudom ölni, csak az nagyon-nagyon-nagyon odabasz a kerületnek.
Excuse me, sir. I have a few questions for you.
Another journalist? I didn't answer the first one, so piss off!
I'm not a journalist, I'm a doctor.
A doctor, you say? It's quite a rare breed in this part of town.
Really? But still, here I am. Dr. Jonathan Reed, at your service.
I'm Joe Peterson to some, but Colossus Joe to most. And I don't remember asking for your service, sir.
May I ask what you do around here?
I do whatever I want, and sometimes even more. Now sod off.
According to you, physicians are scarce in this part of town. Why is that?
Not familiar with this neighborhood, are you? I guess your fancy colleagues are too afraid of being stabbed in the back.
This part of town does have quite a reputation. Would you say it's justified?
Totally. Look at me, for instance. I always look my opponent in the eye before knocking him out.
Have you heard of a nurse named Dorothy Crane? She's a colleague of mine, and is supposed to live around here.
Dorothy Crane? Yeah, I know her. One of the few good souls who dare to help the sick around here.
Could you please tell me more about her?
She's a nice girl. Tries to help the migrants. I offered to give her a hand, but she said my reputation would attract too much attention.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
I should never have taken up my father's business. Welcome, sir. Please, take a browse of my wares.
I am Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
Doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett Lewis. Usually I don't have time to waste with talk, but at this hour of the night I can hardly refuse.
Engem inkább Bilbóra emlékeztet.
How is business around here?
Business? I had no business. Between this racket, theft, and customers getting scared, I'm losing money every day.
I see. Sounds like you blame someone in particular for your situation.
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time harassing merchants. But with me, he's trying to put me out of business once and for all.
As a merchant, you see Whitechapel every day. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary recently?
Well, you mean besides the epidemic, the war, and all the usual crap? As long as I can remember, this part of town has been a bottomless pit, and no sign of the bottom yet.
Violence is increasing in the borough.
Yeah. A few nights ago, some blokes jumped me. Came out of one of the condemned workshops. Fever, madness, something like that.
Where did this happen? Why did you go there?
In the closed workshops nearby. I worked there as an apprentice in better days. Now I only go to find trinkets or tools. Too bad I was mugged, though. There was good money in that little box of loot I lost.
Have you been hurt?
No.
Megvan az első sidequest.
Like
és a második a területen, mert hogy egyet értve meg is
I
oldottunk.
tell you, not even able to speak anymore, just screaming.
Ja. Ja.
Have you heard of a nurse called Dorothy Crane?
Nurse Crane? So the bitch really is a nurse then? Always thought she was just some crafty foreigner, that one.
Yes, she's a nurse, and quite a good one. What did she do to gain such notoriety?
Dorothy Crane ain't even a real name. Something like Dorothea Craniu. Something like that. Came to England fleeing the war, I was told.
That doesn't explain why she irritates you so much.
Your precious Nurse Crane gives away medical supplies and prescriptions for free. I offered to sell it for a fair cut, but no. Miss Crane wanted to play the quiet saint.
Aha. Na jó, akkor nézzük meg, hogy mit árulsz.
Show me what you have.
Two. Tiny good handle part. Az a baj, hogy nekem a sima good handle part kéne. Ehhez viszont kaptunk egy jó hintet. Úgyhogy, aha.
How did you become the local bully everyone is afraid of, Joe?
There's no pride in roughing up poor bastards. But this is the only job I've found. And it pays well too.
A job? So you're racketeering for someone else?
I got enlisted by the Wet Boot Boys, a gang from the docks. I'm their muscle for their dirty work.
You survive at any cost, even at the expense of others. Perhaps that's just the law of nature.
I don't care what you think, sir. I do what I have to do for my own reasons, and that's that.
I'm not sure Mr. Lewis would agree with your by all means necessary philosophy.
Oh, do you really think he's the poor victim here? Barrett can be as sneaky as anyone. Long ago, I even called the bastard my best friend.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
Elvileg kaptunk hozzá hintet, azért próbálkoztam volna a másiknál, de...
Fancy buying something, sir?
You never lose your focus, do you? Joe Peterson. He's the villain here, isn't he? But you seem to know each other.
I'd known Joe for years. I saw him box once or twice. He was a friend then. But these days, he's just another thug.
What can you tell me about Mr. Peterson? Besides his behavior toward you, obviously.
Colossus Joe was a decent boxer, good one even. But after his wife passed away, he found every excuse to stop training. Just wanted to pick fights with everyone.
It's never easy to find a new path in life, especially after the loss of a loved one. But crime is certainly not the best option.
We've all had some rough times, ain't we? But most of us don't use our fists to see us through.
And no one has ever stood up to this thug.
Nobody would be fool enough to stand against the Wet Boot Boy.
Jó, ennyi. Ennyi.
Goodbye for now, Mr.
I'm cheap and I promise.
Don't be shy, handsome. What can Christina do for you?
I'm not
Mi lóg a
looking
füléből?
for selling, but I'd like to ask you a few questions, if I may. I'm a doctor, Dr. Reed.
All right then, but be quick, though I usually get paid when I open my mouth.
Tell me about yourself.
Are you joking
Akarom
with
én
me?
ezt.
People don't usually come to see me for conversation.
I have no interest in your work. I am, however, curious as to what led you into this career.
Short story. The war, exile, and England. This country is not especially welcoming. I've been refused many jobs because of where I am from. I had few options left.
I always thought I was the master of my own fate. But now I know we don't always have control over our lives. I don't judge you.
You know, this money is not only for me. I have good reasons to need this money quickly. But it is not your concern, Doctor.
Christina, have you been examined? The epidemic is spreading fast in London, and you could be exposed. Or expose others.
I don't like doctors or hospitals, but I don't like you asking questions.
Considering your line of work, I assure you it is only a matter of time before you have health issues.
If it is going to happen, it will happen. Right now, I need money. That's what's important.
You can put your own life in danger, that's your decision. But what about your clients? If you're contaminated, you will put them in danger too.
And you think that would worry me? If you knew the men I deal with, their health would not be what you'd worry about.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital?
No comment.
Anything you can tell me about her would be helpful.
I don't know her, but I know her name is Dorothea Crăciunescu. She came from Romania like me and many others.
You seem to respect her.
Dorothea helps the sick people of Whitechapel. Everyone should respect that.
Igen.
Goodbye, miss. Take care of yourself as best you can.
Hanyan vannak még hátra ebben a körzetben? Három, négy, még 7 ember, akit nem ismerek. Ez már a templom udvar. De egyébként nem csak a dialógusok, némelyik karakter is elég beteg.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed. I'd like to ask you a few questions. I know what you're thinking. A tall stranger who meets a girl in the street at night. It reeks of the penny dreadfuls. But I mean you no harm, truly.
A legjobb
I
beszélgetés.
know you understand what I'm saying. Your silence has nothing to do with you being mute, does it? Camellia, I know you work for Dorothy Crane. Please tell me about her secret dispensary. A stubborn and mute comrade. Nurse Crane and Darius Petrescu have been clever.
Igen.
Very well. Goodbye then.
Ez kész.
Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son. Father Tobias Whitaker is always happy to teach mortals about the incoming Armageddon.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reed, and I just have a few questions.
A scientist? You are much more lost than I thought, my son.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital?
Aye, aye.
I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like the liberal ideas of nurses, but I especially abhor that Nurse Crane you mentioned.
So, you're not exactly a fan of Florence Nightingale's work. But nurses are essential for modern healthcare.
Nuns should be the only women allowed to take care of male patients. It's obvious only they have the necessary moral fiber.
Why do you hate Nurse Crane more than other nurses?
Before coming to London, she was a member of the communist resistance in our country. That's what happens when you let a woman get involved in politics.
Aha. Hát ő van egy normális ember. Szerintem nincs.
Have you any friends? Any family left in these terrible times?
No. But I have a disciple I see as my son. He is so devoted. I sent him to preach the good word in the heart of this corrupted city.
Where did you send him?
I sent Samuel to the Stonebridge Cemetery, where the pestilence and evil grows night after night.
Miért küldenek hittéríteni egy temetőbe? Bárkit is.
You sent him on some preaching crusade during the epidemic.
As a true believer, Samuel will fear no evil while he walks through the valley of the shadow of death.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences, and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
Well, I suppose I can spare a few minutes listening to your so-called truth.
As a doctor, you must be aware of the decimating epidemic. But let me tell you that this so-called Spanish flu is just the beginning of the end.
What do you mean?
The beast is finally revealing itself, corrupting the flesh and the heart of men. With my own eyes I have seen them, those minions from the abyss.
Really? And what would be your answer to this biblical threat?
We must fight the disease before this legion outnumbers us. But not with scalpels and microscopes. No.
What is left then?
Cleansing fire.
What do you mean when you say
Also,
quite a job?
You are...
I am. Tell me, Tobias, what exactly is your plan concerning the cleansing of this city?
God will recognize his own. More than once this city has risen from the ashes, hardened and purified by the flames.
Jól érzem, hogy ez a büdös paraszt most fel akarja gyújtani egész Londont?
Purification by fire has proved useful, but where do you stop? Burn the clothes? The buildings? The corpses? Worse?
Your lack of faith is predictable. But my task is to convince rational minds like yours to see the light. This is God's will.
You're mad and dangerous. You're nothing but a soulless butcher. A small-time Torquemada. The Savonarola of Whitechapel.
My son, if you think salvation is a free gift, go listen to the lies of that pompous fool, Joseph.
Joseph, a fool?
Vicar Larrabee of St. Mary's Church. While he continues preaching his fraudulent redemption, more and more people die in the streets.
What do you mean when
All's
quite a...
But you...
Well...
As a doctor...
What do you mean?
The beast...
I have heard enough.
Na oké. Ezt tudja, hogy meg fogjuk zabálni, csak előtte valahogy helyre kell hoznunk a körzetet, mert ez már nagyon az összeomlás szélén áll, úgyhogy nem lenne most jó vége annak, hogyha megennénk, mert van egy pár betegünk. És akkor itt még hiányzik nekünk 3-6 ember.
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part of town? Name's Clayton Darby, reporter.
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel. But perhaps you could help me since you're a journalist. My name is Jonathan Reed.
Dr. Reed, the famous surgeon. I'll gladly help if I'm able, sir.
Why are the newspapers keeping silent about the Spanish influenza?
It's as though none of you care.
There's a war going on. People shouldn't be demoralized by news of deadly diseases.
It's a disgrace. People are left to die alone. No one is properly informed of the risks.
These are bad times indeed. So much for the glorious British Empire.
Have you any idea of the danger you face in these streets at night?
I've had to run and hide more than once from frenzied mobs incensed by the fever. Do you think the flu is really responsible for this, Doctor?
I must confess, some of my rational views have been shaken by recent events.
I'll remember to stay away from the district's roughest streets then.
What is a journalist doing in this borough after sunset?
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to go, to inform the country.
So you risk your life to reveal the truth. I saw many reporters do the same during the war.
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories and tragedies. I want people to know them.
That's quite honorable of you. But is the public interested?
Not at all, sir. And that's why I'm an independent journalist, hoping to sell some stories.
Christina Popper claims she sells her body because she can't find any other work. Do you believe her?
Of course I do. Her story is exactly what I want my readers to understand. We live in an intolerant and divided nation.
Do you think things will ever change, Mr. Darby?
I believe the situation can only improve. And now that women can vote, I'm convinced things will change.
I heard you're investigating an underground medical dispensary in Whitechapel. What do you know about it?
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really an acquaintance of theirs. Why do you care?
Yeah.
I'm afraid one of the nurses from the Pembroke Hospital may be involved with unsavory activities.
Ah, could it be Dorothy Crane?
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious. Never goes out. Doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
He has no relatives at all?
No. Except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nithercott, who sometimes comes by. Darius would never let him in.
Where can I find this Mr. Nithercott?
He spends most of his time lurking around Whitechapel, talking to himself or declaring verses. These days, you can usually find him behind the church.
He never goes out?
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell.
20 XP-t kaptunk ezért az egészért. Ez kemény. Eresz. Nem tetszik az a sötét sarok. Remek. Az egy melee rezisztens. És ez is. Viszont cserébe legalább képes szintű. Le volt értékelve, így van. Hát annál volt olcsóbb is a játék, de mint azt jeleztem, ezt a játékot nem én vettem. Lead plate az jó, csak már nincs rá szükségem, de amúgy se gáz. Azt hiszem megvan az emberünk.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions.
Please be my guest. Although I may not be the best informant regarding this part of town, my words speak about that which the eyes cannot see.
Really? Are you an artist of some kind?
I'm a poet, sir. Richard Nethercott, at your service.
May I ask what you're doing?
Na jó, akkor még ez itt dumálgat, addig én egy-két dolgot megcsinálok, hogy egy picit rövidebb legyen a szünet, ami nem sokára bekövetkezik. Úgyhogy csak kattintgatni fogok, de headset nem lesz rajtam, a chatet látom, szerintem a mikrofon miatt, mivel egy kondenzátor mikrofon hallani is fogtok. Úgyhogy csak látni nem, de itt leszek. Egy pillanat és jövök vissza.
If you say so. But as a physician in a time of epidemic, I must caution you to avoid unnecessary exposure, sir.
Thank you, Doctor. But we both know the seeker of truth has to go boldly where the weak dare not.
Közben ezzel a résszel végzett, úgyhogy megyünk is.
What are your thoughts on the terrible situation in this city?
Szerintem ezt a részét vesznek meg most.
Of course, the death of so many innocents is a tragedy. But the scourge has not been all bad for the
Quest line-nak ezt a részét, tehát magát a questet majd a szünet után fejezzük be.
Noisy, cacophonic, quiet nowhere to be found. And now listen to this oddly peaceful silence.
Yes. The enjoyable silence of the grave. You have a unique perspective on the situation, I must admit.
Most people fail to understand my perspective. I don't blame them. But how could I call myself a poet if I veiled my feelings?
Are you aware that your life could be in danger in this part of town?
But this is where I must be to feel the real beat of the city. I had to come, see it for myself, alone.
If some misfortune came upon you, who would be here to help you?
Well, you for a start, my dear doctor.
I understand your need for solitude, but it's not safe around here.
I don't care. I don't have many friends, Doctor, and my family despises me.
Ezen vagyunk túl, akkor jöhetnek a personálok.
Tell me, Mr. Nethercott, why seek inspiration in Whitechapel?
The place is not beautiful per se, but how to explain it? Stirring and challenging.
Do you not think it a little morbid?
On the contrary, sir. Whitechapel is full of life, full of beauty. Just like my dear muse, the wonderful Camellia.
What can you tell me about Camellia?
Not much. And that's the beauty of it. She can't speak, you know. She's a locked mystery who exhales kindness and sweetness.
Perhaps you're just afraid to find out the truth about your muse.
One day, perhaps, I'll ask her to come with me. But will she still be my wild flower of Whitechapel if she moves uptown?
And have you ever tried to learn more about her?
Where she lives. How she survives. Whom she may know.
Maybe I prefer she remains an enigma. Reality can be so dull, don't you think?
In what way, exactly?
The struggle by gaslight, the barren smiles and the added hunger under the rain.
If you say so.
Such vibrant antagonism and vivid paradox. The stripped humanity raged across each street.
Vivid, of course, yes. And what about the poignant distress?
Oh yes, the poignant distress. You see what I mean, don't you? That's what I want to write about, and that's what Whitechapel is made of.
Did you know the mute florist is a member of a secret society?
No, I didn't. But I thank you for this information, sir. For it only enriches the mystery surrounding the precious camellia.
Are you not curious? Is there not more you wish to know?
That girl has not an ounce of malice in her. Whatever she may be hiding, it's certain to be for the benefit of most, if not all.
I fear you are a hopeless romantic, Mr. Nethercott.
Guilty as charged, Dr. Reed.
May I ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you, if I can.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane, a nurse who lives in this vicinity.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name. The Crane of Whitechapel. Sounds very mysterious. But, sorry, no, never heard of her.
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu? Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
Semmi új nála? Semmi új nála.
I'll leave you alone, sir.
Oh, várjunk. Néma... Ja? Most akkor teljesen körbe megyünk? Na nem. A néma csajhoz akarok eljutni, azért nem akarok teljesen körbe menni. Mert hozzá viszont volt valamink. Bár valószínűleg nem fogunk tőle megtudni semmit. De azért miért ne?
Hello again, miss. Tell me about Richard Nethercott. I understand he is quite fond of you, Camellia. Very well. Goodbye then.
Find the mailbox.
The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more leverage to enter.
Lootot reméltem abból a kukából, nem ezt.
It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in.
Hát ennek nincs. Hát ennek továbbra sincs sok értelme, így van. Na jó.
Mr. Petrescu, just 1 minute, please.
You again? Go away.
Sir, wait. Stop this nonsense. I know Nurse Crane is here. Shall we speak man to man, you and I?
All right. Speak up.
Don't you see we're on the same side? We fight to help the poor, sick, and abandoned.
I'm nothing like you, Mr. Doctor.
Yes, you are. You too believe in providing medical care without charge. You know what we have to sacrifice to make the world a better place.
I have to admit your words have conviction. All right, I'll let you see Dorothea. Don't make me regret this, though.
Na, nem fogod megvenni, csak kipakolom a házat. Hopp. Ja, ez az utcafront. Ups. Oh.
It's locked. It's locked. It's locked. It's locked, all right.
Erre jövök. Eltévedtem.
If you want to talk to Dorothea, you must go across the courtyard and take the stairs.
We've not been formally introduced. May I ask your name and occupation, sir?
I am Darius Petrescu. I'm here to keep snitches and spies away from Dorothea. And I also run this little print shop.
So Dorothy's real name is not Crane?
Like myself and many people in this area, Dorothea is from occupied Romania. That's all you need to know.
She seems important to the community.
More than you can imagine.
Ennek most a történelmi hátterét szerintem hagyjuk.
Whitechapel's misery. Dorothea is one of the few doing something about it.
Tell me everything you know about Camellia, the mute florist.
I do not believe in the afterlife, Doctor, but I'm almost convinced Camellia is an angel. She volunteered to give out our medical leaflets.
Igazából jobb lenne, hogyha a románokat párosítanák a vámpírokkal, mert ugye az eredeti legenda, Vlad Dracul legendája román. Tehát egy román, azaz pontosabban akkoriban Havasalföldének hívták, Havasalföldi fejedelemről beszélünk. Na most ennek ellenére előszeretettel párosítják őket a magyarokkal, aminek Báthori Erzsébet tekintetében van is alapja.
Camellia is not even her name. It's her favorite flower.
You say she has no close family?
Well, there's that awful poet who constantly follows her around like a lost puppy. A good man for sure, but a very poor writer.
Ezen kívül Occupied Romániáról beszélt.
Tell me
I do not believe...
Oh.
Do you have any family left, Mr. Petrescu? Children or grandchildren?
Who knows? I have abandoned my people for so long, they might as well be dead. As dead as I am for them, I suppose.
Don't be embarrassed, sir. If you must know, my own father disappeared many years ago, and I forgave him.
It's quite awkward to talk about our families like this, but thank you, Dr. Reed. I appreciate your trust.
This war won't last forever. Did you ever think of returning to your country now it's free?
No. I have taught strength and determination to my sons and daughters. I'm an old, dying man who only has memories of better times to cherish.
How did you meet Nurse Crane, Darius? Why does she trust you?
I'm her oldest friend in England. Dorothea and I share many ideas about this country and about the country we left.
You mean occupied Romania, don't you? Even if not directly, I fought against your enemies.
Really? Then perhaps you have more in common with Dorothea than meets the eye, Dr. Reed.
I know you fought for your country when it was occupied, Darius. Tell me more about it.
I know my days are numbered, and I know I won't see my homeland again.
Valahogy nem tudlak sajnálni.
Romania all my life, and I will until my last breath.
But Romania escaped the
Szeretem,
grasp of
hogy
the Austro-Hungarian Empire.
escape the
It's a free
glass.
country again.
But it's not the country I fought for. My homeland is not appeased, Doctor. And I still see a dark future ahead for my people.
Goodbye, Mr. Petrescu.
Nem egészen. Tehát itt arról van szó, hogy ugye 1916-ban kerül Románia osztrák és német, tehát a magyaroknak köze nem volt, még csak Erdély felszabadításához sem, nem hogy Románia megszállásához, ezt azért nem árt tudni. De Románia sok minden volt ebben a történetben, csak áldozat nem. Hihetetlen mennyiségű vér tapad román kézhez, 1916-hoz kapcsolódóan. Konkrétan koncentrációs tábort hoznak létre az erdélyi magyaroknak, akik ugye Románia által megszállt területen éltek. Ebben több mint 10 000 magyart mészárolnak le, gyakorlatilag Csík vármegye teljes lakosságát kiírtják. Szóval Romániát áldozatnak beállítani ebben az aspektusban igencsak húzós. Főleg, hogy senkinek semmi dolga nem volt Romániával, ők üzentek harat a monarchiának. Na. Hello, David. Azt hiszem, hogy lassan megtalálunk mindent, ami Dorothy Cranehez kapcsolódik. Csak őt magát nem, amúgy.
What do we have here, nurse?
Na, most már is
Patient
megvan.
Razvan Vasily, high fever running on 3 days. Complaints of dizziness, muscle aches, and head pain, diagnosed with influenza.
Treatment?
Aspirin and salicin for the fever and discomfort, liquids for dehydration, but he's having trouble keeping even water down.
Ez azt jelenti, hogy egy vágott formában, privátban végigjátszott videók fognak fölkerülni YouTube-ra. Róla. Tehát nem úgy kompletten tudjátok megnézni, mint most, hanem egyszerűen rögzítem, ahogy végigjátszom, majd megvágom és feltöltöm YouTube-ra. És ez csak ott fog megjelenni.
Hand me that scalpel.
What can I do, Doctor?
Fogalmam sincs, hogy mit válogatok.
I need to perform a tracheostomy. Short pipe. That rubber tube will do. We're going to cut a passage for air through the neck.
Yes, Doctor. He's breathing again, but he's coughing up blood.
Internal hemorrhaging. I need to make another incision into the chest cavity to drain the fluids from the lung. Prepare another tube.
A thoracostomy. Doctor, we've nothing to fight the infection. We need an aseptic environment.
Right then, Nurse Crane. What do you suggest we do?
I've no idea. I'm not the doctor.
Time is of the essence. We need to perform a thoracic drain.
Yes, Doctor.
Igen, nem véletlenül mutatják szerintem.
He's still bleeding, Doctor. I'm losing his pulse.
The drain must have punctured the intercostal artery. There's too much blood.
Are you all right, Doctor?
I can't see.
Na, megegyük, ne együk. Ki mit szeretne? Mert a fickóból szerintem most vagy vámpírkaja lesz, vagy megpróbáljuk megmenteni. Hát, jó.
Must first suture the artery. Find the wound. The source of the blood.
Needle and thread, Doctor.
Good. The stitches are holding. How's he doing?
We're losing him. We've lost his pulse. He's dying, Doctor.
Hát, úgy látszik, nem sikerült megmenteni.
Cardiac massage, now.
Cardiac... What? Are you making this up as you go along?
Amúgy a nővérnek igaza van. Hát, én megpróbáltam, srácok. Én megpróbáltam megmenteni. Nem jött össze.
We've lost the pulse. He's gone, Doctor.
Nurse, we did everything we could.
Truly? Everything you could? Is that how you'll report this in your log? Is this how the war went? Piling up one poor corpse beside the next?
This was not an influenza-induced seizure. I've never seen
Nem
symptoms
hiszem, hogy
like these
ezért
on the
kaptunk
continent.
volna XP-t, Dobby.
Neither have I. But the previous symptoms leading up to this attack were the same, indistinguishable from the epidemic.
No. There was something more vile in these reactions. Something primitive.
There have been numerous reports of mental breakdowns caused by the fever that accompanies the flu itself, Doctor.
Yes, but... I'd best take some samples of the blood for analysis.
Már nem lehet megenni.
I doubt you're here to test my bedside manners. I suspect it was more than intuition alone that led you to us. So, how might I be of service, Dr. Reed?
I've come to put an end to this insufferable blackmailing, Dorothy.
Doctor, you think your warnings scare me? I've stolen and
Sorry,
lied,
gyorsan, amíg a nővér
blackmailed
nem
and
figyel.
lied, but what else am I to do? I'm all these people have.
But why Lady Ashbury? Why her, of all people?
She's pristine and proper, all right. But that she-wolf in sheep's clothing murders the poor for sport. I have her where she belongs, and I'll milk her for all she's got.
Dr. Swansea is a sensible and honest man. He wouldn't have refused your friend's care at Pembroke.
It's easy for you to say, Doctor. These people cannot go to the police, nor to the hospital. They don't even speak English. They depend on me for everything.
So, the end justifies the means. Is that your defense?
I know you're kind, Doctor. Just another fine-heeled, silver-spooned gentleman who was given the world on a platter. You know nothing of poverty. Nothing of the shame, the hunger, the loneliness.
Azt hiszem, hogy akartam csinálni egy olyat, hogy megeszem az egész körzetet, az egyiket, hogy lássuk, hogy mi történik. De azt hiszem, hogy megvan, hogy melyik körzet lesz az, tehát már itt ő eleve a pillar, tehát a központi szereplője a körzetnek, és nagyon nem szimpatikus, konkrétan éppen zsarolja a kórháznak a fenntartóját, és az egyik legnagyobb támogatóját. És éppen azt hangzott el, hogy mindenétől meg akarja fosztani, tehát mindent ki akar belőle zsarolni. Akkor ott van a pap, aki fel akarja gyújtani egész Londont. A néma csajt azt sajnálom, de... Ott van a teljesen költő. Még talán ezért is sajnálom. Az újságírót. De ott van még a másik rohadék, amelyik jó pénzért ad el. Hát gyakorlatilag sarlatán, tehát szemetet ad el gyógyszer néven. Akkor ott van a másik, amelyik zsarolásból él. Azt sem fogom sajnálni, sőt, még talán a prostit.
You've convinced me of the sincerity of your actions and their noble justifications. But all the same, blackmail is a crime, and it will stop, Nurse Crane.
So, are you going to turn me over to the authorities?
Fel tudom zabálni már most ezzel. Itt elengedjük, hogyha visszavonul a kórháztól. Itt meg, hát ezt gondolom valamelyik vámpír képességgel lesz összefüggésben, ezzel meg elfelejt mindent. Szimplán. Lehet válogatni, ki mit szeretne megnézni. Minden esetre azt ugye jeleztem, hogy meg lesz éve, de nem most szeretném megenni. Tehát azért a teljes képet kapjuk meg. Helyre ahhoz, hogy normális XP-t kapjunk érte, először meg kéne gyógyítani. Ami nem egy hosszú folyamat, csak el kell mennem legyártani az ellenszert, és utána meggyógyítani a körzetet, és sokkal több XP jár értük. Akkor eddig egy ember akarja megenni. Ha erre gondolsz, ami most van, az ugye ez valami vámpír képességgel fog ezt összefüggeni. Igen, igen. Hát nézzük meg ezt, aztán majd megesszük. Amikor már meggyógyítottuk és normális XP-t kapunk a körzet felzabálás után.
Nurse Crane, enough. Listen as if your life depended on every word. I know you've a generous heart who gives freely to those in need, but you shall walk away from the shadier streets of your business.
I will never abandon...
Dorothy, the discussion has come to a close. Your clandestine activities in the Resistance are over. Let it go.
I'll let it go. Yes. All gone.
Interview with the Vampyr. Oké. Jó, azt hiszem ez volt a jó választás, ettől fejlődött a Mesmerize levelünk, amivel most már több embert tudunk elkábítani és megenni. Beragadt a main questünk. Kinda.
It's locked. It's locked.
De jó. Na. Ezek hogy kerültek ide bentre? Na jó. Szalicin. Na, te még itt hagytad a lootod. Nem baj, hogy már régen bent vagyok Petrescu házában, de a quest még mindig ott van beragad. Ó, ez egy heavy. Remélem élveztette a rohadék. Na, ti mégis mit akartak a heavytek nélkül? Ja, nincs staminám. Na. Hol a harmadiknak a hullája? Annál is kellett, hogy legyen loot. Attól meg ettől felszedtem. Hol a harmadik? Jó, akkor a lootod a földön marad, öcsém.
Hello, Mr. Petrescu.
Hello, Dr. Reed. Come on in.
Ó, ezt már megint ki lehet zsebelni. Vagy csak ott hagytam azt a kis pénzt. Az előbb. Nagyon jó. Mert csak arra kéne... Oh.
It's locked, all right.
Remek. Vissza kéne találni, gondolom, a kórházba. Várjunk, nem tudok valahogy megoldani, hogy ez úgy helyre jöjjön? Report to Lady Ashbury. Oh. Hogy akkor ez itt nem sikerült, tehát akkor meg lehetett volna menteni a fickót, gondolom én. Csak nem jött össze, mert rosszak voltak a választások.
Human blood. Whoever left these marks did so deliberately.
Kill it, boy! Vermin!
Annyira örülök neki, hogy melee rezisztens ez a rohadék. És még ki is sétált belőle, hogy rohadjál meg. Na. Az egyik boss megvan a kettőből. Ja? Hát jó, Dobby, lemaradtál egy döntésről. Ennyi történt amúgy. Ez legalább nem rezisztens a melee-re. Mint a másik. Hopp. Csak így az utcán sétálva belebotlottam egy dupla bossba. Ja, hogy ezek így folyamatosan jönni fognak, amíg ez a rohadék él. Jó. Mindenesetre adtak 600 XP-t. Azért sajnos kitöröltük az emlékét, ugye, és jó döntés volt. Igen, mert azzal fejlődött egy egész szintet, tehát azzal ugrott szintet a mesmerize levelünk, azzal a döntéssel. És így már most több embert fogunk tudni megzabálni. Na nézzünk rá arra a kör... Nem. Rossz gomb. Ezt akartam. Ja igen, itt egyet megettünk már, egy embert, de nekem nem ez a körzet kell most, hanem... Popának kell egy fetig. 2 fetig. Eddig. Egy cold, egy bronchitis, egy migrén, 3 fetig. Anémia, szepsis, egy bronchitis is kell. Meg egy cold is kell, de ezért migrénre nem tudok gyógyszert. Na mindegy. Pedig amúgy jó lett volna. Az egész körzetet teljesen meggyógyítani, de akkor valahogy életben tartjuk őket, amíg meg lesz az összes gyógyszerünk. Good handle partom nincs. Szomorú. És mielőtt evolvolunk, mindenféleképpen visszamegyünk ezeket a gyógyszereket odaadni nekik. Mielőtt az a szerencsétlen körzet összeomlik. Hopp, itt is van valami. Ugyanott lesz a sátorban a csaj? Ahá, ahá. Vajon miért volt az a függöny elhúzva?
I would ask you to avert your eyes, sir. Or did you not know it was rude to stare?
I knew it.
Speak up, Dr. Reed. I like a man who speaks his mind.
Hiding your true appetites behind a facade of compassion. Bravo. Very clever indeed.
Spare me your sarcasm, Jonathan. You are but newly born in this world.
So in the end, the accusation was true, wasn't it?
The situation is somewhat awkward nonetheless. I have not been observed sustaining myself for many decades. I have to say I'm a trifle embarrassed.
Anyway, I have concluded my inquiries concerning your blackmailer.
I see. Please excuse my agitated state. Under normal circumstances, I wouldn't let anyone see me in this condition.
Az a támogató, akit zsaroltak.
The person who took advantage of you has, shall we say, seen the error of her ways.
So who was it?
My lady, the blackmailer was dealt with using the utmost discretion. The culprit's identity is of no relevance.
Thank you, Jonathan. That is exactly what I needed from you. You have proven your loyalty, so, as a friend, please accept this small token of my appreciation.
Thank you, my lady.
If you have an inclination to learn more about vampires or your current situation, I will be glad to aid you in your quest for knowledge.
Mondjuk, ha a társadalom haldoklik, a vámpíroknak is kevesebb a kaja.
Why does Dr. Swansea allow you to feed on the patients of the hospital?
Dr. Swansea is a good and compassionate man. He is trying to find a solution for our hunger. Until that happens, he is clever enough to understand that I only feed upon the dying.
What do you know about this Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole?
The Brotherhood is well known amongst London vampire society. As long as our kind is discreet, and as long as they do not interfere, we have come to a mutual understanding.
Képzelem.
And no one suspected you of the murders.
As you well know, suspicion has recently fallen on me of killing for pleasure. But you have my word, Jonathan. I take no pleasure in taking a life.
Why did you save me in the canning factory?
I could hardly stand by and watch such a promising young blood as yourself be torn to shreds by some gutter scowl.
William Bishop wasn't the vampire that created me then?
No, Jonathan. Whatever their strength and demeanor, Scowls are the progeny of careless vampires. It cannot be the other way round.
What type of vampire is a Scowl?
Not a true vampire. The deformed offspring of lesser vampires. It is a shame these creatures run wild, slaves to their baser instincts.
I know this is beyond the pale, but may I inquire your age?
Really? And I thought you were gentlemen. If you must know, I'm 27. I've been 27 for a long time now, and 27 I shall remain.
And who bestowed upon you this eternal youth?
My maker. He left this isle a long time ago.
Very well. But I believe there is more to this than you are saying.
A lady has to have some secrets.
I've been hearing a voice talking in my head. Is this some kind of insanity? It feels like the voice of the vampire that created me.
Hush. Tell no one this.
Hát ez
It
a
would be
sreden nagyon
unwise
messze
to
van a
talk of such
40-től, Dávid,
things
mert
amongst
így
British
ránézést is.
immortals. Speak no more of your maker.
How could this cause offense?
Only the powerful immortals can mentally call to their progeny. No vampire or hunter will sleep easy, knowing that an unidentified elder is stalking the streets of London.
Excuse my forwardness, but
Szerintem ez már körülbelül amúgy kiderült, hogy nem ő az, de azért kérdezzük meg.
Goodness no. Only a foolish immortal would create a progeny without taking precaution, and I'm no fool.
I don't understand. Why was I created and then left for dead?
That is a question only the one who made you can answer. It's not normal practice. I doubt even if you find him, he will answer you, considering how cruelly he treated you.
So me being a vampire could have been a mistake.
I very much doubt it, Jonathan. Contrary to the legends, it is not as simple to make another vampire by just biting someone.
I'd like to avoid creating another vampire by mistake anyway. Tell me, how's it done?
The process is dangerous. It could even kill your potential progeny. If you did decide to sire an offspring, they must drink of your blood, Jonathan.
A vampire? Is that what I am? What we are?
Such a crude word, defined by penny dreadfuls and drunken hacks. No. You are now an Ekon, and that you shall remain.
Are you an Ekon too?
Yes, I am. We are the closest thing to what man refers to as vampires. Forget what you think you know about us.
So we are Ekons. How can I identify us amongst other vampires?
How to put it? All Ekon are vampires. But all vampires are not Ekon. We are but a branch of the immortal tree.
Itt is kész? Oh.
I've been away from London and England for 3 years.
Hát ez ilyen, Dávid, azért kell ezeket szinte kötelező jelleggel megcsinálni,
Things have
mert
gone
hogy
from bad
így
to
kapjuk meg
worse
a
here,
sidequesteket,
Jonathan.
tehát
I've
ha
lived
nem
in this city
nyomogatom
for a
ezeket.
long time, and I've never seen it like this.
Jó, igen, csak tudod, Dobby, hogyha valaki nem ért angolul, akkor neki ez ugyanúgy uncsi marad.
Yes, but it's not just that. I've heard things. Things I've not heard for a very, very long time. There are whispers in the shadows. Something far worse than the Spanish flu is here in the city.
What is it you fear?
Fear has long since flown this form. But there is something malevolent circling us. I feel fear is merely waiting in the wings.
Are there many vampires here in London?
Immortals are of a rare breed, and we often tend to hide. But you may occasionally meet some of us at night.
Do you know any of them? Have you an idea of the identity of the vampire who attacked me?
You mean your maker? No, Jonathan, I have no clue. But I fear he or she is as careless as cruel. To let you discover your new condition by yourself.
What do you mean?
Every now and then, you may discover an immortal in the deep of the night. But we are a rare and reclusive breed. Our progeny is almost never accidental.
Will they all be as affable as you, my lady?
I do not see why not. But remember, even the shark smiles before he bites.
Vampire
politics are as intricate and sometimes tedious as a game of chess in a gentleman's club. I've learned from experience it is best to decline to play.
When I awoke, changed, I was chased and attacked by vampire hunters. Prepared and well trained.
Though I can't be certain, more than likely it was the once glorious Guard of Priwen.
Once glorious, but still dangerous.
They have seen better days, but all fanatics are dangerous. You would be wise to stay clear. They are sworn to destroy our kind.
You make them sound like some sort of cult.
More a society, and like all the best ones, a secret society. I thought them almost gone, but it seemed they have been recruiting.
Na, vége.
I bid you farewell, for now.
Mindent elmondott.
I must quickly analyze the blood I took from Nurse Crane's patient.
It's safer here than anywhere else in the East End.
Loot. Annyira jó, hogy még oldalt mindig be van ragadva az a szar. Hát nem azt kaptam belőle, amit szerettem volna.
Razvan Vasily was infected by Spanish flu,
Igen.
but also has
Jobb
the
oldalt be
highly
van
unstable
ragadva.
blood of the Skulls.
Black Man in Whitechapel, find the way into Darius Peterskus house, és azon már rég túl vagyunk.
I should talk to Dr. Swansea about it.
Mutatom. Itt volt beragadva. Tehát folyamatosan ezt az egy darabot jelezte ki folyamatosan oldalt. És azóta már túlmentünk pár fokán, tehát hogy így... Olyannyira, hogy már konkrétan a harmadik fejezetnél járunk. És még mindig a Find the Way into Darius Petrescu's House van kint. Na én most akkor elmennék viszont vissza Whitechapelbe majd. Gyógyítgatnám az ottani embereket, hogy a körzet ne omoljon össze, amikor alszunk még egyet, hogy a 2700 XP-nket, ami felhalmozódott, elhasználjuk. De előtte egy nagyon-nagyon pici mosdószünet. Most nem is kapcsolok zenét, mert nem lesz annyira hosszú, hogy érdemes legyen. Már is jövök vissza. Na most hallotok, akkor itt is vagyok. Üdv mindenkinek újra. Na, nem ezt akartam, jelöljünk már be egy side questet. Mondjuk ezt. Annyira jó, hogy továbbra is be van ragadva. Oldalt. Aha, az a temetőbe visz. De nekem nem a temető kell, úgyhogy nézzünk már meg egy másikat. A kontrolleren nem fogom megjegyezni soha, hogy ezt mivel kell. ...230 méter? És rossz helyen vagyok amúgy. Ez a terület csak egy sidequestes rész. Patkó. Na, egyed már megfele. Teljesítményt értél el, pest control.
It's locked.
Guess it's a no.
It's locked, all right.
Úgy látszik, hogy a zenemék viszont nem élednek újra, amíg nem alszok. Vagy nem halok meg. Remélem nem néznek téged állatvédők. Hát... Az legyen az ő problémájuk, ha mégis. Már bocsánat, de... IRL persze védjük az állatokat, meg...
Good evening, my dear colleague.
Egyebek, de...
You look ill, Miss Swanborough. I want...
I'm perfectly fine.
Halsey. Ja, ez Halsey. Nem ennek kell a gyógyszer.
Goodbye, Miss Swanborough.
Na hol az a másik, amelyik itt kukázott még az előbb? Itt.
Good evening, Benjamin.
I'm afraid...
You don't seem well, Benjamin.
I always feel ill, sir. It's like...
Ja, migraine.
I will see you later. A gun, alcohol.
Én patkányt ilyenre se védek, hanem házi állat. Hát szerintem aki patkányt tart házi állatnak, azzal probléma van. De ezt a típusú patkányt, ezt... Mit találtam? Hideout unlock. Aha. Migrényre még mindig nincs gyógyszerünk. Ezeket viszont szedjük már szét. Kicsit sok a vérja.
Kicsit.
És elfelejtettem visszamentem a kórházba és elfelejtettem megvenni a satit. Jó, most tele vagyunk vérrel, itt arra nincs szükség. Ez a csaj, ez jól van, ennek nem kell most gyógyszer. Aha. Petrescu. Neki viszont kell gyógyszer.
Hello, Mr. Petrescu.
Hello, Dr. Reed. Come on in.
Nem akartam bemenni, csak vedd el azt a kurva gyógyszert.
Yes?
Do you need some help?
I am very tough.
Well, I think you do. Take this, and you'll feel better.
Free drugs from an English doctor. It must be my lucky day.
Goodbye, Mr. Petrescu.
És helyre jött. Viszont az újratöltéstől helyre jött. Oldalt. Itt nem tudunk átmenni. Ó, hogy rohadjál meg. Hogy jutok el a templomhoz?
Better go home, sir. I said go back home. Bloody monster!
Pedig megnyomtam a dodge-ot. Dögölj már meg! Az 8-as.
Safer places to be than here. Dive! Watch yourselves! This one! Bloody leech! Shit! You!
Annyit élt a melee rezisztanciája, hogy gyakorlatilag 4 ütés volt 3 helyett. Nem mondja komolyan, hogy ez le van zárva. Annyira bírom, hogy azokon a szarokon simán átteleportál egy ilyen kis izé, meg megfogja. Valamelyik ajtó nem nyílik? Nem, de ellenben volt loot. Nagyon jó, ez melee rezisztens. Hopp. Picit sokan vannak. Még messze voltam ehhez a művelethez. De van egy olyan sanda gyanúm, hogy azért vannak ennyien, mert hogy a quest zónájához értünk. Azért a side questről beszélek. Az kutyus. A boss változatával már találkoztunk. Egyébként szerintem ezzel kellett volna előbb találkoznunk. Ott is van valami. Kicsit.
Turn around, sir.
11-es, 10-es, 12-es. Ó, és ez valami heavy lángszórós. A kis náci nem el akart gázosítani? Áú! Ó, ez halt. Édes anyádat gázosítsad el a... Az fingágyú. A többi hol halt meg? Ez nem az a hulla. Kint nem halt meg egy se. Spring. Na jó, menjünk vissza. Oda bent kell lenni a... Ez véletlen volt. De jó, hogy millire... Ja, rossz gombot nyomok. Úgy akartam támadni megint, mint a Dark Souls-ban. Azt hiszem, akkor ezzel ki is takarítottuk a területet. Na, most erre ráhílelünk, mert az nem gyógyul magától.
This could be the box Lewis thought he lost. A love letter from Joe Peterson's wife, addressed to Barrett Lewis. Who should I give it to, I wonder?
Azt hiszem valaki lebukott. Igen, a questnek az a következő része, hogy vagy a férnek, vagy a fickónak kéne odaadni. Itt akkor nem tudok kimenni, nem már. Minden esetre szerintem a terve az az, hogy még egy fél órát toljuk. Ami belefér, ami nem, az nem. És akkor... Ez Petrescu?
Hello, Mr. Petrescu.
Hello,
Aha.
Dr. Reed.
Engedj ki, de nagyon gyorsan. Gondolom megint rossz irányba jövök. Na jó, nézzük már meg azt a mapot most már, mert a tököm ki van. Akkor menjünk a marker felé, úgy látszik ott lesz a fickó. Neked van valami kínod?
Don't you feel?
I've been touched.
I have had enough for tonight.
Good evening, Doctor. Can I help?
Do you need a
That would be nice of you, Doctor.
If you persist in investigating the most pox-ridden boroughs of London, you must accept the risks.
Thank you, sir.
Fatigue, jó.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby.
Neked van valami kínod?
Good evening, Chris.
Shane.
Do you need any
It depends on the price of your...
I am shocked that you would think I am that sort of man.
Forgive my suspicion. I'm so used to liars with good manners. Thank you, sir.
Ja, hogy az a haja csak ilyen hülyén van. Aha.
Goodbye, miss. Take care of yourself as best you can.
You again?
Can I offer you?
The name is Colossus.
Biztos, hogy ennek a pszichopata állatnak oda akarjuk adni? Igen. Ez a férj.
I think the documents in this box could be of some interest to you.
Really? Where'd you get it?
I found it in an abandoned building nearby. I thought you might want to keep these letters.
Let me see. Letters about my boy. Thank you, sir.
You do not appear surprised or pained by this.
Surprised about what? Harry's my son, I'm his father, and that's all there is to know, don't you think?
Yes, I suppose you're right.
Here's a little something for your trouble. And to remind you to keep your mouth shut about all this.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
Hát, úgy látszik a férj végig tudta. És te beteg voltál?
Fancy buying something, sir?
You never... Do you need...
I only need you to purchase...
Goodbye for now, Mr. Lewis.
Megint rossz gomb. Kapott gyógyszert, kapott gyógyszert, kapott gyógyszert. Migrént nem tudjuk gyógyítani, fatigue, ezt tudjuk gyógyítani. És a coldot is tudjuk gyógyítani. Ő itt lesz valahol, róla fogalmam sincs, hogy ő hol van. Viszont. Igen, kinda. Na most ide visszaszpónoltak a gúlok, vagy nem? Hát nem.
Good evening.
And good evening.
Do you need I understand your appetite for words and macabre beauty, sir. But you should be more careful.
The nutrition of my mind is more important than my physical health. But I appreciate your concern, sir.
I'll leave you alone, sir.
Úgy látszik, hogy nem lehet őket betrekkelni. Azt kerestem volna amúgy én is. Még neki kéne odaadni amúgy. Na mindegy.
It's locked, all right.
Nagyon örülök neki, hogy locked. De legalább kinyitottunk egy shortcutot. Ja, ez az, amit a múltkor itt hagytunk, mert hogy túl nagy volt a szintkülönbség. Au.
I cannot enter.
Ez mi a plakát csak? Igen, valahol beszéltem vele, nekem is ez a kínom. Hogy hol? Ez a hideout. Mocskos kölyköt meg kellett volna zabálni ott helybe. És akkor nincsen gond. Csak ilyen kis érdekességek, még csak collectible-nek se számolja őket. Itt találtuk meg a gyereknek azt a szart, ami a questet elindította a sráchoz. Hello, Chris! És utána erre mentünk. Azt tuti. De hogy közben ott elfordultunk-e valamerre, vagy hol a francba találtuk meg a srácot, arról fogalmam sincs. Itt találtuk meg a srácot. De mibe, hogy most nem itt lesz? De ott van, ott ő most is. És körbejártuk az egészet, mikor itt volt a szomszédban.
Do you need assistance?
Please. Feeling tired.
There you go. Let's hope nobody steals it from you.
Very funny.
Goodbye, young man.
Me? I'll not die in some piss-stinking alley reeking worse than a week-old lavvy.
Megvan a gyerek, megkapta a gyógyszert, mehetünk visszavolvolni. Azért a kórházba megyek el volni, mert úgyis oda-vissza questnek, a main questnek a következő része. Meg valószínűleg onnan fogunk tudni bemenni majd a következő sidequestre is, tehát Megnézzük előtte, hogy itt ezen a ebben a körzetben tudunk-e valakit gyógyítani. Neki fatigue, azt tudjuk. Fatigue, headache-et nem tudjuk, akkor 3 darab fatigue-re van szükségünk. Egy, 2 és 3. Ennek kellett szerintem gyógyszer.
Good evening. Do you need medical the proximity? Don't take too many risks with your health, Mr. Chidana. None of us are immune to this disease, and that is a good thing. Death and disease. Goodbye, Mr. Chidana.
Jó, tőled ennyit akartam. Ja, és mint látjátok, a gyógyításokért XP is jár. Tehát nem elég, hogy több...
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed.
Oh.
I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Vele még nem is
Yes,
beszéltünk.
I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Ackroyd. Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Ackroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swansea's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
This is ridiculous. My blood transfusion technique saved many lives, and you know it.
You see? That is exactly what I hate about people like you. You avoid this kind of accusation instead of facing reality.
It seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd.
Lehet valahol nevet változtatni Twitch-en, emlékeim szerint.
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
There is no need for such animosity between us. Don't you think the epidemic is already enough to deal with?
That is one point we could agree on. And that is precisely why I want to be sure that you will be of help to this hospital, instead of a burden.
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk
Hú, de
later.
nagyon meg akarom ölni a fickót. Nem? De jó irányba mentem. Ennek is kell egy fatigue, remek. Akkor viszont kevés van fatigue-ből, még egyet csinálni kell. Csak azért meggyógyítom, hogy megegyem. Esküszöm.
I'm quite busy right now.
Do you need my...
Don't be ridiculous.
Then you are lucky that I have taken the time to do so. Consider it a gesture of solidarity between professionals.
I wish this hospital could have received as much attention from you, Dr. Reed. We do not see you in surgery very often.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
Na jó. Akkor... Unknown. Waverly Ackroyd, ő már gyógyul. Ő is gyógyul. Ő Halsey. Ő is. Ha mindenki Halsey, akkor hogy a faszomba találtam ennyi beteget? Aha, meg vagy.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening.
Do you need it?
I'm afraid.
Our job brings us into contact with all kinds of infections.
That's easy for you to say, Doctor. I get the feeling you don't fall sick often. Well, thanks anyway.
Goodbye, Milton.
Na. Mindig a rossz gombot nyomom meg. Ezt a csúfságot kell majd még megkeresnünk. Őt nem tudjuk meggyógyítani. De mielőtt őt is meggyógyítjuk, ugye az nehezen fog menni a gyógyszer nélkül. Igen, most itt gyógyítgatok. De ez nem a kezdőterület amúgy, a kezdőterület az más zóna. Ez csak az alapterület, ahol a bázis, inkább a base van, inkább azt mondanám rá. Ez te leszel az, akinek
Good
még
evening, Nurse
Aha.
Brannigan. Do you require...
I will be...
Nurse.
I'll try, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Na, beszélünk még azért a kis adag XP-ért. A fickóval.
Evening,
És akkor utána most már tényleg elvalgulunk egyet.
Please speak. But I have something important to tell you.
This strain
Na,
of
örülök,
flu,
hogy sikerült Chris közben.
it's very different from the one I saw in Europe. It's downright peculiar.
Really? What makes you say that?
I've just looked at the blood of one of our recently deceased.
I see. Do you have anything more to go on?
This disease spreads and looks like the Spanish flu, but its effects differ greatly. The London strain is different from the continental one.
This is very interesting. Did you find something else?
Yes. Unlike the flu, the infected begin to show an increase in outwardly aggressive behavior. More than simple agitation. Once docile people become violent.
You mean like rabies? Is there a chance we could create a vaccine, Jonathan, like Pasteur? By the stove, that would be smashing.
There's a lot we're not seeing here, but it is spreading, and quickly. If we don't act, the whole city could be lost.
But Jonathan, we've a fantastic opportunity sitting right here in front of us. A weapon of choice.
What on earth do you mean?
Why, you, my dear boy. With your expertise and your blood, we could isolate the properties that course through your veins. Think about the possibilities.
I admit it did occur to me. Blood seems to be the common factor in all of this.
I totally agree. We're in uncharted territory here. Maybe it's just wishful thinking, but imagine the possibilities.
We'll discuss this more later. Thank you for your time.
No, thank you, Jonathan. But as I said, I needed to talk to you. I have some rather bad news.
Yes?
I'm afraid it's your sister.
My sister?
She's to be buried this evening at Whitechapel Cemetery. Your mother published the obituary this morning.
I see.
I'm sorry, Jonathan. Please accept my condolences.
Az a baj, tudtuk, hogy a testvére meghalt, mert hogy gyakorlatilag ő volt az első áldozata, miután átalakult. Ja, nem kéne felfelé mennem, hanem evolvolni kéne. És akkor mindjárt meglátjátok, hogy mi a jelentősége annak, hogy ezeket az embereket gyógyítjuk-e vagy nem. 3200 X-ről. Kéne már egy ulti, nem? Szóval ez a képességünk már shadow damage-et oszt. Your target's blood causing it to explode, dealing damage to the target and anything nearby. Let the beast take over. De akkor is ezt fogjuk megvenni. Élő volt a testvére. Ezen is kéne pár szintet húzni. Ez mennyibe kerül? 600 XP. Menjem. Hát az endurance-ünket alaposan feltoltuk és fejlődtünk 3 szintet. What? Na itt megy fel a stabilitása a körzetnek, de Whitechapelben meggyógyítottunk egy csomó embert, és még így is éppen, hogy csak Siriusen tudtuk tartani. Tehát ez a körzet így is gyakorlatilag az összeomlás szélén van. És magától is össze fog omlani, akkor is, ha nem zabáljuk föl, szóval pont ezért akarom ezt a körzetet fölzabálni. Úgyhogy most nem tudom, hogy akarunk-e átmenni még a következő zónába, mert hogy nem sok időnk van már. Tehát most csak belekapnánk a következő körzetbe, igazság szerint. És szerintem lehet, hogy jobb lenne ezt most így hagyni, és legközelebb innen folytatni. Úgyhogy szerintem ez most itt marad abba. És most itt a stream végén, tehát most még egy pár perce van szavazni azoknak, akik szeretnének. A stream végénvel lezárom a szavazást is. És a jelenállás szerint akkor ez a játék, tehát a Vampyr végig lesz játszva streamben itt a csatornám. Úgyhogy holnap fogjuk szerintem folytatni. Hogy Rainbow vagy Dark Souls lesz-e még mellette, azt nem tudom most megmondani. De minden esetre én most nagyon-nagyon szépen köszönöm a figyelmet. Jó pihenést, illetve további jó szórakozást mindenkinek. Én már ennyi lettem volna, köszönöm a figyelmet, illetve a követést is, ami érkezett. És akkor holnap találkozunk. Sziasztok!